Hey everybody, today I'm going to be talking about Galactic Cruise, and specifically about what made it fund so well on Kickstarter. Some games don't fund until halfway through Kickstarter campaign, some not until closer to the end, while others don't fund at all, and then you have games like Galactic Cruise that fund quickly. So Galactic Cruise launched on Kickstarter on March 4th, and they funded in just under 4 minutes. Their funding goal was $50,000, and at the time I'm recording this, it's the evening of March 5th. They have over $417,000 raised. So there are 28 days remaining on the campaign. I mean, that's just incredible. That's a lot of money. So let's talk about what makes Galactic Cruise so successful. There are 3 big reasons that I think Galactic Cruise is such a success. Reason number 1, the game is incredible. So, it is a no-brainer for you, if you're not new to the game, that Galactic Cruise is an amazing game. If you've had a chance to play it either as a playtester or to kind of check it out at a convention or play it at a convention, you already know that the game's wonderful. Without diving into how the game works, let's talk about why it's great. So, there is a lot of passion behind the theme of the game, and the game is heavily theme-driven. TK at Kinsey Games has a passion for space, and this game is a dream come true for him, not just because he loves board games, but because of his love for space. They have spent 3 years creating, editing, fine-tuning, and bringing this game to life. No doubt there were many challenging days for them. Heck, some of the times they did playtesting, it didn't even start till 10 o'clock in the night on a typical work day. Everyone at Kinsey Games works a job outside of designing and publishing board games, but the passion for the game and what they wanted to bring to players has kept them going for these 3 years, and now they have a promising result. Kinsey Games organized Galactic Cruise intentionally with the theme in mind from the get-go. They have used the term theme forward. So whenever there were decisions to be made about how something should work or how it shouldn't work, the theme is what helped them drive their decision. Thus, the game is very thematic. Every action you take follows the theme very well, and so it just makes sense. Because of this, it's easy to explain what's going on in the game. If you think about a game that has a little bit of complexity with a weak or abstract theme, sometimes it's hard to help someone understand what they're doing or why they're doing it in a game. But that's never an issue with this game, because everything that you're doing makes sense in the real world. So, next up is playtesting. Story time. I went to Gen Con a couple years ago for the first time, and while I was there, I played a couple games from somebody who has published, I don't know, maybe 10 or 11 games, and I was inspired by just the concept of game design and publishing, and I thought it was a really cool experience. And I started tinkering around with designing games and playtesting and a lot of kind of just learning what goes into that. I had a really good experience. I kind of worked on a draft and write game, and then I worked on a worker placement game. Neither of them have been published, and maybe one day they will be, but right now they're kind of just on hold. But at any rate, I had such a good time and a good experience, and in doing so, that's how I met TK from Kinsey Games. I got to a point with my first game that I was like, yes, I'm ready to playtest this, and I got it onto a digital platform so that it could be playtested by anybody, anywhere. And I posted on a board game design group on Facebook just a screenshot of the game, and TK responded, and he playtested my game and then told me about Galactic Cruise, and I playtested Galactic Cruise. Then I started a second game. He playtested that, and I since, had playtested several other games for several other designers, and seriously, like a third of the time I was testing something, TK was there. Like, TK is amazing. He has playtested games like crazy. He's a legend, and it is legitimately not an exaggeration to say that he's probably tested more than 100 different games or at least playtested 100 times for other people. That gives him a lot of experience that gears up Kinson Key Games for success in their future. It certainly has geared up the success of Galactic Cruise. They have playtested Galactic Cruise more than 200 times, which has allowed them to make a lot of fixes to things that didn't work early on. There were lots of things that need to be figured out when you're starting game design process. No matter how well you design it in the beginning, there are just tons of changes that are inevitably going to happen. So many parts of the game came and went while others changed, but after they got a solid game going, they still tested it a lot to find balance and try different strategies and make sure every aspect of the game was just right. Though a game can never really be perfect, they've played this enough to know it's pretty darn close. Not only that, but they took everybody's feedback really seriously. Reason number 2. Great marketing, great community, and great team. Though everyone at Kinson Key Games contributes, I do feel like TK is their biggest marketer. He is extremely active on Facebook and Discord with multiple board game groups, and he's frequently finding interactive ways to introduce people to Galactic Cruise and engage with them. I'm an example of that. I posted my screenshot on Facebook, and TK saw it and responded, and because of that, I now have played Galactic Cruise. Many other examples exist in many different board game groups, not just for game designers, but like Board Game Revolution community, for example. And another thing that's really cool about TK is a lot of the time I see him post, it's not necessarily just him making a post, but it's him responding to what other people are saying and trying to give helpful feedback to them if they're board game designers, or to help answer questions other people have, like, again, in the Board Game Revolution community. I can't say enough about how much engagement Kinson Key Games has with their audience. I'm in their Facebook group as well as their Discord server. Rarely does a day go by where there isn't activity, and while Kinson Key Games posts a lot and is very responsive, the community of followers is just as active in their social media. People are always sharing opinions and feedback and excitement all about Galactic Cruise, and that's been the case for like so many months before they ever even launched their Kickstarter. As part of social media posts, they've done several giveaways in the Galactic Cruise Facebook group and have even given discount opportunities for members there too. Kinson Key has gone to convention after convention to bring new eyes to the game. I met TK in person at a convention last year after, many of our digital playtests, and it was great meeting him. I watched as he shared Galactic Cruise with others and engaged with them. They not only brought eyes to Galactic Cruise, but let people play a partial game to give them a feel for it, and they've done this time after time. While they may have experienced success without conventions, hype really started increasing for Galactic Cruise a lot more as they attended all these conventions. Now, just to show you the type of people that Kinson Key Games are, for those who back the game, there are bonuses that they get to claim. As the community on their Facebook page grew, they decided to give people $1 off their Kickstarter at 100 milestones. When they got 700 followers on their Facebook page, and then 800, and then 900, things like that. Now, you might just say, well, okay, that's just a marketing strategy. And yeah, it is, but it also shows that they're thinking about how to make the game easier to get in the hands of others. After the game funded and started approaching the 500,000 mark, they sent out an update to all backers. They said that for every $250,000 they raise, each backer will get a discount of $2 on their shipping. Now, that may not be a ton of money for each given backer. All in all, maybe $5 is your grand total discount. But $5 a backer really adds up when there are more than 3,000 backers. Right now the game has more than 3,700 backers, and it'll obviously be higher if they hit $500,000, which gives them another $2 bracket. But even just right now, and just with the shipping discount, they're giving people back over $7,400. Again, a few dollars off a game isn't a lot, but when they're trying to get a business running and they're trying to get a game produced, in my opinion, they really are thinking a little bit about the backer too. Reason number 3, Kinson Key Games is prepared. While this is Kinson Key Games' first big title, They have a previous Kickstarter experience. They released a game called Deli Virus in 2020. It's a much smaller game with minimal artwork. They had a funding goal of $2,500 and reached $3,400. So they have previous Kickstarter experience. That experience taught them a lot. They learned not only how to run a Kickstarter, but they learned what it takes to bring a game to life from start to finish. With it being a smaller game, the stakes weren't as high, but there were doubtless many lessons learned along the way that taught them what they needed to know for Galactic Cruise. With their previous experience, they planned their timeline really well for Galactic Cruise. There are a lot of things they needed to get done before going to crowdfunding, and that stretches beyond just playtesting and marketing. They also lined up the artwork with Ian O'Toole. They needed to get work on various aspects of manufacturing, including custom meeples, development gears, game trays, and more. Then there's shipping companies, paid social media marketing, content creator videos, digital help on crowdfunding, and plenty of other things most people never even know about. They put in their time and work, and it has really paid off. To help keep the momentum going, with everything they needed to do, they onboarded a new person in 2023, bringing their team up to a size of 3. This allowed them to show up at more conventions and do even more. I can only imagine the amount of hours they have poured into this game. But this game is launching off into space, and I'm sure the team could not be more pleased. So there are my 3 major reasons why Galactic Cruise was such a success and just dominated Kickstarter. I can't wait to play this game physically when it finally comes to my hands. I am very happy for the guys at Kids and Key Games for their success. Let me know down in the comments your thoughts about Galactic Cruise. Thanks for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.